Thank you, John. Good evening and welcome to the Lawrence City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, November 10th, 2020. Please note that this is a virtual meeting that is only accessible remotely. You can join this meeting from your computer, your tablet, or smartphone using the access code that has been provided in our agenda. Pursuant to Governor's Breakers March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 38, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, this public meeting of the Lawrence City Council for the City of Lawrence, Massachusetts is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted, but the public can listen and or view this meeting while in progress by the use of Facebook, YouTube web access, or accessing Zoom in the access code that has been previously provided. Members of the public attending this meeting virtually will be allowed to make comments if they wish to do so during the portion of the hearings designated for public comments by use of web and phone access provided. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilor Estel Reyes.
Present.
Councilor Anna Levy. Noted. Councilor Selena Reyes.
Present.
Councilor Abdu.
Carolyn Ganley. So that was just a comment, and then I have a question.
Councilor Abdu.
I have a question for you.
Present.
From another
Councilor Payano.
Present.
person is asking.
Councilor Dela Cruz. Councilor Dela Cruz. Noted. Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez.
Present.
Council Vice President LaPlante.
Present.
And Council President Vasquez.
Present.
Council Levy present.
Thank you, Councilor Levy.
Got it.
Now, please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. Now, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Councilors, we have no sets of minutes that need to be approved. Moving on to public participation. Please note that you will have 2.5 minutes to speak. When I tell you for the first time, I will say 2 minutes. That means that you've spoken for 2 minutes. When I tell you 2.5 minutes, that means that your time is up. Please identify yourself with your name and address for the record. Do not address any individual councilors. Address the council as a whole. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to be heard? Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to be heard? Seeing there's none, we'll move forward. Now, public hearings. There's none scheduled. Communications from the mayor, city officials, and the city attorney. We have document 22420. Is Ordinance Committee update. It was placed on the agenda by Chief Roy Bast, Chief of the Police Department. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Council President. Good evening, councilors. I just wanted to take a quick moment of your time to update you on our process for the Ordinance Committee and any sort of information that you may need from us. So we've made a change at the liaison position to the City Council regarding ordinances. And that change is now that Officer Abel Cano will be taking over for Officer Gene Scanlon. Officer Scanlon served for many years in that role, and we made a change in that capacity. I think many of you are familiar with Officer Cano's work and with the business community. He does a tremendous job, and we just wanted to make you aware of the change. So Officer Cano will be our liaison to you, and that I just basically wanted to say that I know a number of you like to communicate by text or phone calls, and a number of you prefer emails. So either way, we just want to make sure that it's important for us to continue the flow of information and definitely make sure that we manage your expectations. So whether you prefer, like I said, emails or text or by phone, that's great. We just want to make sure that we are facilitating that for you and getting you all the information you may need so you can make a thorough decision based on whatever the ordinances may be that come up. So again, just briefly wanted to update you on that information. And as always, you can reach out to myself or Officer Cano for anything you may need in that regard. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Councilors, have any questions or comments? Seeing there's none, we will now be moving on. I have committee reports, Budget and Finance Committee reports. Mr. Vice President and Chair of the Budget and Finance Committee.
Thank you very much, Council President. Just give me a moment here. The Budget and Finance Committee voted on, this is document number 19720, to send this document up. This is the fiscal year 2020 property tax classification, and to order a public hearing. And we sent this up to the full council without a recommendation. Committee report.
Motion, is that in form of a motion?
It is in the form of a motion.
Councilors, is there a second?
Second.
It's been properly seconded by Councilor Reyes. Any discussion? Seeing there's none, Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilor Estel Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Anna Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor David Abdu,
Yes.
Councilor Pavel Payano,
Yes.
Councilor Maria Dela Cruz. Noted. Councilor Rodriguez.
Yes. Hello. Councilor
Councilor
Dela Cruz.
Dela Cruz.
Yes, I would like to know what are we voting for at this moment. I just got in.
This is a motion to order a public hearing on the tax factor rate for 2021 property tax.
Okay, yes.
Thank you. Council Vice President LaPlante
Yes.
Just
and Council President Vasquez.
before we continue, you didn't call my vote. And just to clarify for one thing,
I heard you say yes. I marked you yes.
well, before you have me as a yes, I wanted to clarify. This is to accept it as a committee report, correct?
The motion is to approve it as a committee report, correct?
Yes. Okay.
And I thought it was and to order public hearing. Do you want me to correct the record, Council President?
Mr. Vice President, your motion was to approve as a committee report only.
My motion was simply a committee report, and once this is completed, I'm planning on making a motion to order a public hearing.
My apologies.
Okay.
And Council President Vasquez, this is in order, again, to accept the committee report.
My vote is yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
No.
so it passed. Council Vice President.
Thank you very much. Council President, I'd like to make a motion that we order a public hearing.
Motion
Second.
has been made and it has been seconded by Councilor Estela Reyes. Any discussion? Seeing there's none, Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Council Vice President,
Yes.
Councilor Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilor Dela Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Payano,
Yes.
Councilor Abdu,
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Anna Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Estela Reyes,
Yes.
and Council President Vasquez.
Yes, motion carries. Mr. Vice President, document 19920.
Thank you. This is a document to request expenditure of grant funds for the social justice series for the sum of $50,000. It was sent it up to the full council with a favorable recommendation, and make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and it's been properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing there's none. Moving on, Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilor Estela Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Anna Levy, excuse me.
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes.
Yes.
Councilor David Abdu.
Yes.
Councilor Pavel Payano.
Yes.
Councilor Maria Dela Cruz.
Yes.
Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez.
Yes.
Council Vice President LaPlante.
Yes.
And Council President Vasquez.
My vote is yes. Motion carries. Council Vice President LaPlante.
Thank you. The next item is document number 20220. And this is a request to expend grant funds from the Massachusetts Opioid Abuse Prevention Collaborative to the sum of $75,000. It was sent up to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Motion has been made and it has been properly second. Is there any discussion? Seeing there's none. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Council Vice President LaPlante.
Yes.
Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez.
Yes.
Councilor Maria Dela Cruz.
Yes.
Councilor Pavel Payano.
Yes.
Councilor Abdu.
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes.
Yes.
Councilor Anna Levy.
Yes.
Councilor Stella Reyes.
Yes.
And Council President Vasquez.
My vote is yes. The motion carries. Council Vice President LaPlante, document 20320.
Thank you, Council President. This was sent up to the full council for a favorable recommendation, a request to expend grant funds for the Mass in Motion program for $50,000, and to make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and it's been properly second. Any discussion? Seeing there's none. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilor Stella Reyes.
Yes.
Councilor Anna Levy.
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes.
Yes.
Councilor David Abdu.
Yes.
Councilor Pavel Payano. Councilor Payano.
I do
Yes.
believe he's trying to talk because the box is lit.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Now we
Yes.
can.
Yes. Got it. Thank you. Councilor Maria Dela Cruz.
Yes.
Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez.
Yes.
Council Vice President LaPlante.
Yes.
And Council President Vasquez.
Yes, the motion carries. Okay, moving on. Ordinance Committee reports, there's none. Housing, none. Personnel Committee, none. Charter Review, there's none. Public Safety, none. Committee of the Whole, there's none. Moving on to withdrawals. Councilors, seeing that this is all documents to be withdrawn, will you mind taking a look to see if there's any particular item that you do not wish to support a withdrawal for?
Councilor President.
Councilor Reyes, Madam Chair.
I sent all the documents from Ordinance Committee, and by Councilor Rodriguez the last time, we kept all the documents for you, just to review if is any other councilor that wants to recommit it or send it as a new item, as we heard the chief of police, that Officers Cano is the one is going to be taken over now for Officer Callen. So we decided to leave it for 2 weeks. You can take your time, review what we have, and then for our next meeting, we can take it as a block if anyone doesn't want to pull out any document, or we can send it. I prefer that instead of recommitted, you put a new document. A lot of things has been changed since we placed this document.
Okay. So essentially, so you wanted my recommendation as a committee to determine whether
No.
or not we want to withdraw?
No. When I sent that all those documents from the last ordinance meeting,
Okay.
Since you were absent, Councilor Rodriguez make a suggestions that we kept all the documents to give you an opportunity to go over, checking if is any documents that might be in your district that you want to keep, that you want to recommit it, or you want to place it as a new document. And this is not only for you, this is for everybody, but we are giving some time since there are so many and we didn't have time to go through each one. So it's just to take it, take some time and just to check if we still want to continue moving forward to withdraw, or if we want to recommit it, or we want to place a new document.
Yeah, there are some items that I think that we personally that I would want to recommit to the ordinance committee.
Yeah.
So I'll gladly do those now. If councilors have any other recommendations, we could do that as well. Mr. Clerk, document 30417. Please recommit to the ordinance committee.
Councilor President, but this has been a new document that you have been putting in the agenda.
Yeah,
we already have recommendation
from Officer Cano. I spoke.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is why we are giving you some time just to review it. There's so many documents that we had been working. So most likely, we probably have recommendation, or we have as a new item in the agenda.
Okay, so we'll hold on to it for now. So let's move on to table matters. Councilors, have any table matters that you wish to take off the table at this point? Nope. Okay, so moving on to new business. We have document 21420. It's the appointment of Martha Velez as Health and Human Services Director. Is going down to the Personnel Committee. Document 21520 is the appointment of the Third Assistant City Attorney, Dina La Huerca, is going down to the Personnel Committee. Document 21620, handicap parking, is going down to Ordinance Committee. Document 21720 is a one-way traffic on Lear Street, going down to the Ordinance Committee. Document 21820, installation of underground facilities, is going to the Ordinance Committee. Document 21920 is request to locate poles, wires, and fixtures, going down to the Ordinance Committee. Document 2020 is a request to expand grant funds, is going down to the Budget and Finance Committee. Document 22120 is the appointment of Michael J. Armano as the Inspectional Services Director, is going down to the Personnel Committee. Document 22020, handicap parking, 97 Oak Street, going down to the Ordinance Committee. Document 22320, parking, 30 minutes in front of 5 McFarland Court, is going down to the Ordinance Committee. Document 22520, handicap parking, going to the Ordinance Committee. Document 22620, disclosure by municipal employee, going out to the Ordinance Committee. Document 22720 is a singular wireless smoke cell installation application, going to the Ordinance Committee. Document 22820 is an order authorizing to expend grant funds, is going down to the Ordinance, Budget and Finance Committee. Document 22920, Library Literacy Coordinator. My belief with this is to make it an ordinance, no?
That's to create an ordinance, I'm assuming.
Yeah, this is going down to the Ordinance Committee. Document 23020 is a request to amend conditions and deed restrictions, is going down to the Housing Committee. Document 23120 is a stop sign, Ordinance Committee. Document 23220 is request to spend grant funds, is going down to the Budget and Finance Committee. Document 23320 is the acceptance of municipal vulnerability preparedness grant, is going down to the Budget and Finance Committee. Document 23420 is an order authorizing to spend CARES Act, going to the Budget and Finance Committee. Document 23520 is an order authorizing to spend Gateway Housing Rehabilitation Program grant, going down to the Budget and Finance Committee. Mr. Chair from Personnel, when is your next meeting?
Thank you, Mr. President. I respond to your question with a question that is, when is the next full meeting of the city council? Is it the 24th or the 17th?
He normally would have been scheduled on the 17th, but given that this meeting, I think that it's important that we allow the subcommittees to be able to continue with their regular schedule. Let me see. Let's go back to the regular schedule because of the election. You know, we're off 1 week, so the 17th we could meet.
So we will have a full council meeting on the 17th.
Well, next week.
That's not going to give us time to meet for personnel.
So we could not meet, therefore the personnel committee could not meet for the next meeting, which at that point, I guess I would say Monday, the 23rd for the first week for documents to be prepared for the first. All right, so I'm sorry to have a discussion, but I would assume these personnel appointments may or may not sunset. The 30-day sunset may occur before the first meeting in December if we don't.
Can you double check, Mr. Clerk?
The 30-day date on the, I'm looking at document 214, and I think also on document, if I could have 1 second, 221, it appears the sunset on that would be, the 30-day date would be November 21st.
November 21st.
Yeah, it was received, both of them, I believe, were received on the 22nd initially. The earliest date received was 22nd. I don't see, I see 2 appointments. I'm just trying to make sure there's not a third one.
There's 3. There's 3 right now.
Yeah, I see 2 now. The third one, I see 221, 214. Do you have the third one there off the top of your head?
215-20.
215-20, thank you. That's really not an appointment, other than it looks like that it's an approval for a contract.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure if you want to consider that an appointment or an automatic appointment within the rule.
If it's not, then we shouldn't consider it then.
Yeah, again, that was received on October 20th from the Assistant City Attorney and not the mayor. So that document, I don't believe would fall within that 30-day rule.
So
Document
let's do this, councilors, because I wouldn't want for any of these appointments to automatically be given. I think that both candidates do deserve to continue to serve in their roles, but I wouldn't want to just automatically allow that to happen. I think we should have a voice and discuss it. So,
Mr. Chairman, if I could, Mr. President, if I could, we would have 2 options, either to move the full council meeting, or at your discretion, you could leave it at the full council level and we could conduct the interviews next Tuesday as part of the business.
Councilor LaPlante has a recommendation.
Mr. President, for your consideration and for the members of the council, another option would be to hold a personnel committee meeting on the 16th. That gives plenty of time for notice. And in talking with the city attorney about just these kinds of scenarios, her advice was to make sure that if we're having the meeting on the 17th, make sure that there's notice that could be brought up. So maybe under old business, or have it on the agenda. That way the public knows that there may be a discussion that might be coming up. If we do it in that manner, according to the city attorney, we would be covered. So that's another option.
I think that sounds correct. We've had similar situations before. Councilor Abdu, does the 16th work? And Mr. Clerk, we could add all 3 documents as an old business on the agenda for the 17th.
Sure, that makes sense. Like you said, we've done that before, not to intervene on Councilor Abdu, whether or not he has the meeting or not. I can just place it on there. The only thing I would caution you is tomorrow is a holiday. The close of the agenda would be expedited to noontime on November the agenda would be very thin. I'm not sure if we're going to hold a meeting on the 17th. I have no committee reports. I will have no committee reports to speak of other than to place these under all business. But if that's the desire of the council, and probably some new business, so it would be a thin agenda for the 17th, just so you understand. We have no
That should
documents.
be fine, because I think it's important for us to try to get us back on track in terms of the.
Understood.
Yeah. Because then if we schedule another special meeting, we'll have to do the same thing in December and so on. So I think it's important for us to get back on track. Yeah.
And again, I want to be understood, your intention, I clearly get it. And putting these on as old business is not a problem. If there's a question, I'll place them on as old business and then we'll go from there.
Fantastic, thank you. So, Mr. Chair from Personnel, the 16th work?
So, Mr. President, I will say yes for the 16th. I, at this moment, am personally not available that evening. I will see what I can do about my personal commitments, and I will talk to the 3 members of the committee and see if they were in full attendance, that the vice chair would be able to chair it in my absence.
Okay.
So that way we don't hold up city council business because of my personal commitments.
Thank you, Councilor. Moving on, we have Chairman from Housing.
Well, we have a situation on housing that the deadline is approaching for the 2 properties that are supposed to be acquired by the as part of the Leahy School project. So we were not able to we were not able to make a determination at the housing committee last time because of a couple of issues. I believe that deadline for that is approaching very soon. In terms of the application for the state. With that said, I would like to have the housing committee meeting to meet on the 16th, which is Monday as well.
Okay.
And have the same idea, have those items as an old business on the regular agenda in case that we need to pull it from the committee as an emergency, and consider those at the full council.
Can we do personnel maybe at 6:30? Personnel committee members? Is that not? Or?
So I will say, Mr. President,
Mr. Chair?
on behalf of the Personnel Committee, I would say yes, because ordinarily I would, and if I get out of what I need to be dealing with, I will start at 6:30. But again, I'll have to talk to the other members of the committee. You could say yes tentatively as a placeholder.
Okay, so we'll do 6:30 for personnel and 7:30 for housing.
That sounds great.
Okay, Mr.
Also, those 2 items need to be that item from the housing need to be added as a no business.
Councilor Rodriguez, I assume you mean all the items that are earmarked, I guess, regarding the school project?
Yes, those are 5, I believe 5 items that are in regard to that specific project.
Right.
So we have to add those as another in case we need to pull it up out of committee.
Yes. Madam Chair from Ordinance.
Okay, since the 17 has been taken, so we have to move it for the 24.
The 24. Okay. Mr. Vice President and Chair of the Budget and Finance Committee.
The 18th, 7 o'clock.
Mr. Chair from the Charter Review and Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we have a meeting scheduled already, I believe it's this Thursday, on the 12th. If for public safety, if there isn't a meeting already scheduled on the 23rd.
Okay, councilors, are there any further questions or comments that you have?
Happy to have you back.
Thank you, Councilor Reyes. And at this moment, I would also like to take the opportunity to say thank you to Council Vice President LaPlante for assisting me in that difficult time. I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot. Glad to be back with you guys.
President.
Thank you.
I would like to congratulate the election departments. They did an amazing job in this city. We would like to congratulate Maloney and all the staff from that department because I think they did an amazing and excellent job in front of the state. We did a good job.
I completely agree. Thank you, Mr. Clerk, and the whole election team.
Thank you, counselors. Again, all credit goes to the staff. I'm amazed. I'm absolutely amazed at what they did in the time that they did it during such a time and such a time period. But thank you for the recognition, and I will pass that word on to them.
Is there anyone else? If not, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made and it has been properly seconded. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I got cut off on the phone. If you can hear me again, Council President, I can see you, but can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay, thank you. Counselor, let's see, I'm going to see which way I go. Council Vice President LaPlante
Yes.
and Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilor Maria Dela Cruz,
Yes.
Councilor Payano,
Yes.
Councilor Abdu,
Yes.
Councilor Selena Reyes,
Yes.
Councilor Anna Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Estel Reyes,
Yes.
and Council President Vasquez.
Yes. Motion carries. Okay. Thank you, councilors. You have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Thank you.